Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today I'm going to be going over my Stamina Necromancer build for the Deadlands chapter. I'm so surprised. This cat's usually grumpy, so we're actually getting a good video in so far, so let's not mess this up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, all that stuff. If you want to see this build live in action, you can catch me live at twitch.tv/Sekaar. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video, and yeah, let's get on with it. Alright guys, let's get started. First things first is we're going to look at our character sheet. We're going to have all 64 points into stamina. It's going to get your stamina up all the way as much as possible. I really like it like this, and I didn't really see any need to put any points into health on this build. Our food that we're going to be using is the garlic cod and potato crust. This is going to increase your max health and your max stamina as much as possible. You could also run bewitched sugar skulls, but you don't really need to. It's going to lower your health and stamina a little bit while also increasing your magic, but you really don't need an abundance of magic on this build. And then the serpent is going to be our Mundus stone. And then I'm also a Nord on this character, so that's why our character sheet looks like this. I probably would prefer Imperial on this, if I'm going to be honest. It's probably a better way to sustain, and you're still going to get a little bit of extra max stamina that way. And I think it would be better, but I really don't think Nord, you're hurting too much either. I think that's actually really nice for the resistances. So I think either Nord or Imperial. Probably go Imperial on this build, to be honest. As far as our gear that we're rocking, we're going to be running on our front bar. We're going to be using a Deadlands Assassin's Greatsword in the Sharpen trait with the Berserker enchant. So we're going to increase that weapon spell damage by 348 for 5 seconds whenever we like light attack somebody or heavy attack. And then what Deadlands does is it's going to give you weapon and spell damage, and a line of max stamina. And then the 5-piece is going to give you another 193 weapon and spell damage, and also dealing damage to an enemy within 10 meters of you within a heavy attack causes you to throw out a cone of 9s, dealing basically 4k physical damage to each enemy hit. And so, and then if the target's low health too, they take an additional bleed damage too. So it's just free damage. Actually, probably get that up if we look at it like this. Just by hitting our rally, the damage goes up significantly, and being in our front bar. So you can see that those numbers are pretty damn good in my opinion. So that's why I like this, because this set is just free damage, and Necro is just, you get so many skills that are going to hit really hard. We'll talk about that later in the skill tree though. And then on our back bar, we're going to be using Clever Alchemist in the Powered as our sword. Our shield, we're going to be doing Impen. It's probably better to have Sturdy as your back bar, but I already had an Impen Clever Alchemist shield, so I figured just for making this build real quick, Impen would be better. So as our monster set, we're going to be using Magma Incarnate. What that does is the 1-piece gives you both magic and stamina recovery, and then the 2-piece is going to, whenever you heal yourself or an ally with a single target heal ability, you're going to be getting minor courage and minor resolve, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 215, and then your armor by 3k. And this also transfers to your group members, so using this really helps your group out a lot. And honestly, it's like a combination of both Bloodspawn and Batlord. This is my favorite monster set in the game. I think you've been seeing this on all my builds lately. And this is going to be heavy. Our shoulder for this is going to be medium. And if we look real quick ahead, we can see that all of our pieces are going to be in the Prismatic enchant. So don't need to go back to that. Our chest piece is going to be Heavy Clever Alchemist in the Reinforced trait. What Clever Alchemist does, I didn't go over it earlier. The 2-piece gives you max health. The 3-piece gives you max health. The 4-piece gives you 129 weapon and spell damage. And then the 5-piece, whenever you're in combat and you drink a potion, you get your increased spell and weapon damage by 675 for 20 seconds. So that's a lot of extra free damage, and you're going to be using potions in the middle of a fight too. So it's going to really increase both your, if you're using, I use tri potions on this, so you're going to get magic health and stamina back while also getting recovery too for that. So the recovery on just the potions alone, and then the weapon damage and spell damage for the actual set, you're hitting a lot harder, and it's actually going to help your sustain a lot too by using those potions as much as possible. So, and you're also gonna want to make sure that you're on your back bar because it's only the 5 piece is only on the back bar on this setup. So make sure that whenever you use a potion, you're on your back bar, or it won't work. Our waist is Deadlands in medium impen. Our hands are Deadlands medium impen. Heavy clever legs in reinforced, and medium clever boots in impen. And then our necklace is going to be Necklace of the Trainee with a weapon damage enchant in the Swift trait. Our ring is going to be Malakath in the Infused trait with weapon damage. And our other ring is going to be Deadlands with Robust, and it's going to be with the Stamina Recovery. And then as our skills go, let's go to front bar first. Dizzy Swing, it's honestly the standard spammable on any stam class, so this is why we use that. It hits really hard on stam necro. You have a lot of weapon damage, so you're going to be hitting really hard with this, but make sure your blast bonus is out at all times. That way you can combo the two of them. You're going to be hitting really hard. Turn Evil. What this does is you put a little rune around yourself, and anybody in there gets stunned and feared, and it's an unblockable one, which is why I like it. So it's gonna really help against those people that just don't let go of block, which is why I prefer unbreakable CC or undodgeable CCs like this or fossilized stuff like that. Rally, it's going to be your source of major brutality and minor endurance. So you're going to be getting your weapon damage increased by 20% and your stamina recovery increased by 15%. So it's going to help. And you're going to get a nice chunky heal at the end of it too whenever you use it. So definitely use Rally on this build. Blast Bones, this thing hits so hard for no reason. So my tooltip without even being buffed is 16k. And then it also increases, it puts Major Defile on them. So it hits so hard. Please use this. Please keep it out at all times too. Executioner, this is going to be how you're going to finish every kill off. Once your enemy is at low health, then use this. But also make sure your Blast Bones is out at all times, or that'll do enough damage to get you into execute range on most players, in my opinion. Both of your Blast Bones and your Dizzy Swing combo, then you just execute them, easy. Then front bar is just Dawnbreaker, standard stamina ultimate, in my opinion. This thing hits really hard. It stuns multiple enemies in the cone, so Dawnbreaker is just my favorite ultimate to use on a stam character. And then on our back bar, we're going to be using Mortal Coil. You're going to be healing on this thing if you get a corpse down on the ground for 22,000 over 12 seconds. That's like a non-stop vigor, basically, for so long. I absolutely love Mortal Coil. You basically become invincible if you keep that and vigor at all times. So please try and keep Mortal Coil down at all times whenever you're in a fight. Expunge and Modify. So both morphs of this are very good, and I wouldn't argue it any other way. Like, I wouldn't argue against using the other one, but I like this one a lot because you get a lot of resources back for purging things off of you. So you see that you get 515 magic and stamina for each negative effect removed. If you're running through a tower and you're just constantly purging things off of you, you're getting so much resources back for no reason. So I absolutely love it. And you get reduced cost on all of your abilities on your back bar too by 3%. So that's huge. And then Resolving Vigor. This is standard stamina heal. It's so good. You're going to be healing basically for 5k almost every 4 seconds. Or every second, sorry. So, definitely keep Resolving Vigor up at all times. Spirit Guardian. I love this version. It gives you a nice little heal over 16 seconds, but most importantly, while active, 10% of the damage you take is transferred to the spirit instead. So you get 10% free mitigated damage just for having it out. And with the Necro passives, it is under right here. If you have it active, your health, magic, and stamina recovery is increased by 200 just for having it out too. So 10% mitigated damage and extra 200 recovery just for having it out. What else needs to be said? Summoner's Armor, this is going to be your source of major resolve, so increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6k for 20 seconds. And I like this version because the other version gives a free CC to your enemies randomly. So I don't like that. I don't like to be. I like to be in control of when I CC my opponent or not. So that's why I like this version better. And then you also get that reduced cost on Blast Bones and Spirit Mender too. So that's helpful. And then back bar, you could do either Ravenous Goliath or something like Shield Wall. I like Ravenous Goliath because people get so mad when you just turn into a giant Godzilla, and it's the funniest thing. You just get to hit so hard in the middle of that, and just I think it's the funniest thing in the world. People get so mad. So you could either use this or Shield Bolt. I would probably prefer this, to be honest. And then on to our champion points. Start in the blue tree, as always. Our four main slottables are going to be Resilience, Ironclad, Master at Arms, and Untamed Aggression. Uh, Honestly, try and, like, as always, try and figure out how this works for you. Definitely use your first 200 points into all these, and then after that, fill in other things like Tireless Discipline or Eldritch Insight, Precision. Going to here, using all these, it's definitely helpful. So just use your champion points accordingly. I have enough to just buy everything, so that's why I do it. In your red tree, your four slottables are going to be Rejuvenation, Fortified, Boundless Vitality, and Pain's Refuge. So I couldn't decide whether I want to do Pain's Refuge or Juggernaut on this build. Either one would be fine. I kind of wanted to go with Pain's Refuge because I'm not going to be able to purge everything off at all times, even with my Expunge and Modify. So just having that reduced the damage on you, most likely in the middle of a fight at all times, is going to be really helpful. So that's why I keep that on. And then in our green tree, as always, the three only important things in this tree for PvP are Breakfall, get that reduced fall damage passive, please, 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 please. Rationer increases 30 minutes to your food, so that's just, free money that you're saving. And Liquid Efficiency, so you're basically just, saving potions once in a while, so that's why I use those three. The other two that I have are Gifted Rider, so that you increase your mount speed by 10%, and then War Mount, so yeah. Those two are cool to have if it's a new character, but honestly, it's just these three that are the most important. And this is going to be how the stats look buffed up, so I'm just going to real quick. Just did the potion for the recovery. So this is on the front bar, so our stamina recovery is going to get up to almost 2300, and then our weapon damage is going to get up to just shy of 5200, and that's only with a rally proc, so that's not even with the Clever Alchemist proc nor the Magma Incarnate proc. So you're going to be hitting just about at 7k weapon damage on this build, so that's why I really like it. And then your physical resistance on your back bar is going to be up to 27.2, and then on your front bar it's going to be at 25.5, and that's with the mitigated damage too from your Spirit Mender being up at all times too. So yeah. So guys, I think this is definitely one of the more fun builds that I've put together. I think that it's you can hit really hard with it. I think it's going to be very versatile. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see builds like this live in action, you can catch me live at twitch.tv/Sekaar. I stream every day. So come by, stop by, tell me about the YouTube videos, stuff like that. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Later.